Today is Monday, February 27th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our On the Grill show for Survivor Game Changers.
Season 34. We are back.
Wow.
And as is our tradition, when we have a returnee season, instead of calling it Judge a Book by its cover, since we've seen all these books before.
These covers.
Yeah, we've definitely seen these covers. Who knows if they got new chapters in them or not? We're going to talk about that as we go through this, or if we're going to get some repeats. But in any case, what we do when we've got an all-returnee season like this is we just go with our traditional theme song for the preseason show, which is Madsumo's On the Grill. It's a tradition we started many, many years ago. And as Survivor prepares for its 500th episode, and we've recently clocked over our 1,000th, it's time for us to
But they started before we did.
To dig in again. I don't know where you're going with that. But in any case.
Because we do a lot more shows per week.
We do, as we're doing here. We've got these two preseason shows that we do, right? Where you and I give our assessment, and then we turn it over to the other super fans and let them weigh in on the season. And we'll talk more about that when we wrap this episode up at the end and request feedback. And then as the season progresses, we tend to do 3 shows a week. If everything lines up, we'll do a recap right after the episode airs, pretty much within an hour of when the episode airs. We usually start recording. The following Thursday morning, we'll get an interview or interviews with those voted off, and I'm sure we'll have days this coming season where there'll be multiples that we have to interview.
Well, with 20, you would think so, yes.
And then the following Saturday, we turn it back over to the super fans to get their take on that episode and predictions for what happens next. That's the general flow of the season, but right now we're in the preseason, and so we go through and do our assessments. We've got Paul's magnificent roster up on the big screen here to look at. Joanne has taken copious notes on each of the 20 individuals.
There's a
paragraph. There's a dense paragraph in 10-point font for each of the 20. And I'm hoping she's not going to read these all word for word.
I probably will.
But there has been occasion where she did. But I promise to keep it entertaining while she does that.
You and I know that my brain is not quite its normal sharpness today.
You once again had a challenging off season. This is true.
Well, we don't need to get into that. But I'm just saying, I might be better off reading than trying to count on my brain to function properly.
For recall.
For recall.
No total recall today. You're off the hook.
Today.
All right, would you like to kick us off? Which tribe are we going to start with? We're going to follow the roster, go by tribes.
Yes, we're going by Paul's guidance. With the Mana tribe, they're like, I guess you'd call them the Red Buffs.
Okay.
And then
Red Power.
Yeah, they are. They kind of look like a power tribe.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
They do, yes.
They definitely got the elements of a power tribe. More ways than one. Okay, who's up first?
We have Aubrey. We're going alphabetically
by the roster.
By the first name.
Yes, again by the roster.
So
okay, Aubrey's back.
Aubrey's 30 now. She's still from Massachusetts, previously from season 32. She says she wants to try to have more fun this time and not be so neurotic.
That's good. That would be a plus. That would show that she learned and has grown.
Well, she had an advantage over Michaela and Zeke in that she at least got to watch herself and learn from any mistakes.
The potential's there. Let's see if she's able to transfer that into kinetic energy.
Yeah, I think it will help, but I also think everyone says that your true self comes out at some point. If you're there long enough, it's going to come out because you can't, when the other things start going, you just can't.
When you're always on, you can't hide it.
Can't guide all that, no.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
And she said she doesn't have any plans to work with or not to work with the other people that from Korong. They're the only
You're talking about specific
four
to Korong.
people. Yes, specifically Korong, because they have
When
four
she's
people
talking.
coming back.
Okay. Yep.
And everybody's aware of that.
Yeah.
There's not one of these people that is not aware of that, I'm sure.
There's only two of them that really had a tie to each other that seemed significant, though.
Yeah, but
I don't think the Aubrey-Debbie thing was much of anything, right? But Caleb and Ty.
yes, but you're
connection.
discounting the degree of paranoia that starts in when you get out there.
Yeah, maybe.
You
Sure.
might see that logically.
I think
here.
there's a bigger reason that people have paranoia about Aubrey. I'm not sure that the 4 thing will really be significant at
No,
all.
because Aubrey says she thinks both Debbie and Ty are, miffed at her, so she's not sure if they won't target her.
I think a lot of people are going to target her. That's the biggest problem for Aubrey, in my opinion. Aubrey's viewed as an intellectual. She's viewed as someone who values strategy, and these are huge threats. And I always flash back to what happened to Sester Nino in All Stars. If you're viewed as someone who's a thinker, who's smart, that can make you an extreme target, and I believe that's the case with Aubrey.
Yeah, the only thing is that I don't think that. Okay.
Words?
See, it's
They're not
already
wording
started.
very well.
You can edit that out.
Okay.
Aubrey says she likes the authentic people like Tony and Malcolm, Sandra, and Sari because she says she just thinks Sari is actually a more grounded version of herself. So I think that's interesting that she sees herself as
Well,
a Sari. Though I
they-
don't totally disagree with that.
They asked them to cast themselves
Right.
in the shape of previous survivors. So you could do a lot worse than picking Sari. I don't see it, but I don't see the Aubrey-Sari comparison connection thing. But
I can see that a little bit, but I think that she's going to be in a better position. She won't be in as much danger because Debbie and Ty are on the other tribe. And there really is no bond between Caleb. He got sent home, so the two of them weren't as big a threat as she had actually played with Ty and Debbie.
she's got as much time playing on a tribe with Caleb as everyone else on her tribe.
Pretty much. Not very long.
Well, she didn't play on a tribe with him at all. He went out in episode 4.
Yeah, but wait a minute. He wasn't even on her tribe.
That was my point.
So, yeah.
There we go. You got it.
Click, click, click.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't help it. It's medicine. So, okay.
So here's my thoughts on Aubrey. She's going to be viewed as a threat. No merge.
Really? No,
Yep.
I said merge.
I know. So we're
Actually-
differing right out of the gate. And it's going to be trivial to get rid of her. There are lots of other non-Aubrey options. I don't see her offering a lot that's original or that will be highly valued by her tribe.
Well, I think she has a good chance to make strong alliances right off because she wants to play with Sandra, Malcolm, and Tony, and they're on her tribe. So I think that's a good thing, unless they don't want to play with her.
Exactly. And there's a
Yeah.
decent chance that one, if not all of them,
I
will
don't-
not want to play with her.
I don't really think so. Malcolm's looking for somebody strong.
Let's talk about Malcolm when we get there, because you and I got similar but differing viewpoints on him.
Okay. Well, I'm just was making the point that Malcolm could choose her as someone, a strong female, even though, that's not the way he's leaning. He was saying somebody else, but she's not on his tribe. So we'll talk about that.
She's not the first person that comes to mind when you say strong female either.
Yeah. Well, Sandra would totally throw her or anyone else under the bus. So that's not a guarantee, but I think it's good that she wants to work with Sandra. 'Cause
What else do you have on Aubrey?
Nothing. Just merge.
You say merge, I say no merge. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Who's next?
Caleb, 28 from Kentucky. I think he's on a perfect tribe for the whole meat shield guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's several of the really strong guys that like that whole meat shield idea.
Sure.
To protect themselves. And he's on just the perfect tribe for that.
Not
So-
only his tribe, but the other tribe, assuming that he makes it further into the game. Yep.
Yeah, but he's got Malcolm, Tony, and
Cer-
Troyzan right there.
Yeah, they could all be thinking that way, right? It's certainly not someone I think of when I think of a game changer. We've seen someone disregard their health to the point of taking themselves out of the game almost. So not to the extreme as him, but he's there, and I think his contribution in the early part of the game will certainly be valid. It's yet to be seen if he has anything strategic to offer to the game. I'm not counting him out. I'm just saying we don't have any point of reference for it. And we didn't, even in the extra clips, get much in the way of hints that he had any game to offer other than his physical contribution.
Well, he mentioned he would like to have a strong female in his pocket, too. You know, he's
Sure.
looking at having, have the meat shields, but also have other people. So he's not discounting having, a woman in his alliance, even though he agrees to go with the male alliance.
Smart play. Certainly diversity is going to give you some advantages in that regard. What else about Caleb?
Would he choose Aubrey since she was on the same season, or will he move away from her because she was on the same season?
I think Michaela's got way more to offer. If he spends any time talking to Haley, she probably would click easier with him.
Yeah.
At least from social perspective.
Yeah.
But he can bond over the physicality with Michaela, right? And because she's the closest thing to him game-wise to have a contribution physically, but to also have something strategic to offer. She just can't hide whatever it is that she's thinking very well. She doesn't conceal her thoughts or reactions, and that can be a huge weakness
she
for her.
Says she's working on it, but her facial expressions are pretty.
She's pretty clear
there,
in her CBS video, at least, that she still has challenges with that.
But don't you think she and Sandra will love each other because they're both so outspoken
And volatile.
volatile?
Sandra's certainly volatile.
Okay.
Yeah, and Michaela can be too. You don't have to look very far into her season to see her like blasting
Poking
Hannah and Figgy, and she was like out of the
She
gate
was kind
aggravating.
of poking Figgy there for a while.
Yeah, so from that
But
perspective,
then they turned it around for the game, for the sake of the game. So anyway, who do you think Caleb? That was my question. Who do you think Caleb would lean more toward?
Haley. I had just got through saying Hannah.
Haley.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
Why?
Because she's attractive and
But he's married now.
doofy. Oh, that's not going to matter that much to him at this
Well,
point.
but it might matter to his wife.
Sure.
So therefore, he might avoid her.
You didn't ask me anything
For that
about
reason.
how his marriage state or how he viewed other women.
I know. I just thought Sierra might be, or Michaela might be a better choice because Haley's so cute.
I'm trying to think of it from how you asked it from Caleb's perspective.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't really know Caleb's perspective.
What do you got?
so.
Merge, no merge?
I put merge.
Yeah, I got merge
think
for
he's
Caleb
their-
as long as he can keep his health
He's
intact.
their strongest challenge person on that.
And you could see it in one of the challenges. He's just like going on blast right out of the gate.
Yeah, right past Malcolm
Yeah. So did he learn
or
anything
Ozzy, whoever it
from
was.
from whatever he was going through? Is he gonna try to like hold that back a little? No.
I think
he can't
he'll
help himself.
try, but I think his tribe.
Well, I'd say that was a
mates
fail.
Will also
Right out of the gate.
encourage him to drink plenty of fluid and stay well hydrated. I think
Or not. I mean, if
They'll be conscious of that.
someone's gonna take themselves out, why get in their way?
Yeah, but it was a different location too. So they're saying, I don't know that this location's going to be.
Well, it's
as
not. It was
brutal.
filmed in June and July, and it's the dry
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
But it's not quite as hot. I'm sure it'll be hot, but it won't be as brutal. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I
Anything
totally.
else? We both got him as merge.
Yeah.
For the physicality that he offers and the challenges for his team.
Absolutely. And I think he's young enough that some of the older ones think they can manipulate him. And because he's not as experienced in the game, they know he went out early. He hasn't played as long. Therefore, I think they could manipulate him more.
Yeah, I would look at it more from the perspective of disposable. It's like, yep, we can use him to help in stage one of the game, and then we can get rid of him. That's the classic view of the strong male there, physical male player.
Sierra Easton, 27, Salem, Oregon, Laura's daughter. She's played twice before.
Yep. Got
And
the big tagline that they can't stop saying.
Oh, I know. And I feel like Jeff hurts her every time he does that. I wish he would stop. Or at least maybe I just don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, there's that, right? I think
But
it's
I
a
do
hook
think
for a
it hurts
casual
her. It
viewer.
keeps throwing the target out there. Anyway, she doesn't care about a strong tribe, she says. She just wants to get in a solid alliance with the numbers. She wants her, that's what she wants. She didn't care about keeping a strong tribe.
Yeah, I liked what she was saying until right at the end, and she said, we need to get that 4. I'm like, wow, you're having a Dan Foley moment here when I'm agreeing with him.
Okay, 4. It's okay to have a final 4 alliance, but you got to have more originally.
Hopefully she's got that, right?
Just meaning
at the end, it just didn't. My first thought was, oh, you've goofed again, but.
Well, I like that she said this time that she's going to make relationships with everyone. Several of the people have said that. It is the smarter option. You're not closing doors and just putting all your eggs in one basket. You have options. However, it can cause more paranoia. So I expect the paranoia to be very high this season. And because I think more people are going to use that strategy if they can. That's their intention anyway.
So merge or no merge?
I put her no merge.
Me too.
Because I think there's a lot of people that are afraid of her. I think she is very strategic, very good at the game, and they see her. I don't agree
with that part.
No, I think she does have game.
She's erratic, and she plays herself into corners.
Well, I think they know that she's not afraid to make the big moves. That's part of why it scares
That's why you
them.
get rid of her.
I know, and that's why I'm having her no merge.
Yeah, that's
because
that was
does
the
she have
conclusion I
game?
came to.
Yes.
Plus, I'd really not like to. Yeah,
I don't want to hear Jeff keep saying that and putting more target. I don't think that's right. And, so I would hope he wouldn't do that.
All right. We both got no merge for Sierra.
No merge.
For Red Sierra. We'll talk about Blue Sierra in just a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go Sierra E and Sierra T.
Okay.
Because unless you see it written, you can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, folks. Sierra Easton, just Sierra E, and Sierra Thomas, Sierra T. Or they can say Sierra Dawn, then we'll know. Or something to distinguish which Sierra. That would be another reason for at least one Sierra to go sooner rather than later.
For you?
Because it makes it more difficult
if you were
for
playing,
me.
You're like,
it's nothing to do with them
really
or
people with the
personal
same
at
name.
all. Because I love Sierra Easton's mother. We all know that. So... okay, next up, Haley, 26, from San Francisco. She's an attorney, and she doesn't know why she got asked back.
Neither do I.
She was surprised.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have the same question. Even Probst has acknowledged it. But there you go. They started with, 48? 40, 48? I forget what he said. So 40 plus in that range. Less than 50, but in that range. And narrowed it down, and then they came up with a theme. And so anyway, she's back.
Well, and she says she's going to bring her brain this time, and that her strategy is to lay low.
Different. That would be good. That's very different than the last time she played.
Actually kind of has the same strategy as Brad. She's going to lay low at first and then strike when she needs to. Can she do that? I don't know. Or can he?
We certainly haven't seen that part of her game. So.
She wants to work with Sarah. And she said unless Sarah was with Tony, then she would want no part of her. But, of course, Sarah's not on her tribe. But I thought it was interesting that she wanted to play with Sarah. And that's who she was looking at.
I'm going to be really curious to watch. One of the things that I came into looking at the cast with was who's open? Who's not shutting anyone out? Right? Who's going to leave the possibilities open for themselves?
I think Sandra's open.
I'm not asking you.
Oh,
I said,
sorry. Thought you were asking me. You said
no. I said
open.
The way I looked at the cast was to ask who's open, who's going to be flexible, right? Who's going to keep an open mind as to who they can work. You don't necessarily want to eliminate anyone. You don't know what they may have to offer. This is how you get yourself in a corner. Sierra did this in her previous season, right? And it cost her the game, she said. So anyway, with Haley, it remains to be seen. I would have been fine having someone else, but we got Haley, and who knows, maybe she'll surprise us.
Well, I remember thinking that when she first started playing, I thought she might have some game, and then it's like...
Yeah, we were hopeful, and then she was just a big dud.
I think it's because they didn't see any way out of it, and they just kind of...
Well, supposedly her excuse is that she embraced the whole no-collar tribe thing, and so she just turned her mind off or whatever. I think that's her cover story for why she was such a waste of space in her first season.
I could see her doing well.
Lots of people love her, right? There's a certain portion of the fan base that are ecstatic that she's back.
Well, so I remember I know where that's coming from. She kind of quit playing.
Well, until we realized she didn't play. She didn't have anything to offer.
Well, I don't know that she doesn't have anything to offer. I'm
not saying that. I said in her first season,
Well,
when we
yeah.
realized she didn't have anything to offer.
But I just am curious whether, since
just
she
on
didn't want to
vacation.
play with Sarah, if she was with Tony, will she want to play with Tony, or will she really want to get
That's
him
your
out right
implied
away?
takeaway. Yeah.
Yes, that is
So I
implied.
was a little disappointed to hear that she was closing doors
But
before
now-
the season began.
I thought Malcolm might like her too, but I think he's going to like Michaela, so I don't know which one, because Michaela, once they see what she can do in challenges, I don't
Why
know
not
how that
both?
will affect them. Yeah, and well, that's what I mean. They're both single, attractive women, so that's why I thought she could get in a good alliance.
Merge, no merge. For Haley.
Merge for me.
Yeah, I got her down for a merge too. She's
Oh,
easy
you
to
did.
drag along.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you put her merge, but
Okay.
I did. Okay, Jeff Varner. He's 50 now, from North Carolina. Now, he and Sandra are both from North Carolina. You think they probably live a couple hours apart. But I
Is
was
there a
like-
question? What?
No, I was just thinking, do they have a connection? Would they have a hidden alliance? He said he didn't have any
No.
this time. That kind of bit him last time, so he didn't do it this time. But
Yeah, I don't think that's
still,
typical of
I
either
wonder.
of their approaches to the game. So
Okay.
no.
Well, he does say he's going into this game much calmer. He wasn't going to be the same. He was going to, again, another person that says they're going to make friends with everyone. That's the only way. He hasn't played the game, so that's his last option to play, and that's going to be his strategy. And he says he'd like to work with Malcolm, Andrea, and Aubrey. Malcolm and Aubrey are on his tribe, so... that's why I thought, well, Aubrey may have some people that really want her. And he said he'd even like to work with Sandra, but he's just too scared of her.
I wanted to count Varner out right from the get-go. I did. I was like, he's not competent to play the game. This is where I
He's
think
been
he
working
is.
out.
Even though I like him, I enjoy. He, as a commentator, storyteller, can be just
Awesome.
fantastic.
Awesome.
And I've enjoyed watching him play, even though I think historically he's not been that great at playing, right? His huge disappointment in his last appearance in that regard. And I was thinking, he just won't have enough to finish. He'll come in strong with a good story
Yeah.
because he's got such a presence, and he's good on TV. He's another one of those guys like Penner that's just good on the screen, right, in that regard. But I started off my assessment thinking no merge because he just can't finish. And I listened to what he said, and like I had mentioned before, I'm looking for people who aren't closing doors before the season began. He said all the right things, and like I'm back on Team Varner again. And
I still put no merge.
I got him down for merge. I'm
So we
like,
disagreed with that because I thought if he's afraid of Sandra, then
There's
and
good
he
reason
goes
to be
after
afraid of
her,
Sandra.
and nobody else wants to get rid of her, and the minute she gets any inkling he's after her, she will try her best to cut him off at the knees.
he didn't close the door on her though. He just acknowledged that there is something about her, as did I think Malcolm did too.
Though
Right.
he put it out there that he was too scared to play with her. If she gets wind of that, she listens for that.
Yeah, we'll see. And so he just completely turned me around. I
Well,
turned
here's the
around on
thing. I
Varner.
have him as no merge because I think he's going to get tripped up. And even though he says he's in really good physical shape, he's really been working out. Look who he's up against with the other males. One look at them, and he's no
he
longer
doesn't
in
have
as
to
good a
beat
physical
them.
shape. I know he doesn't.
So
nor
I
should
don't
he
know
try.
what your point is.
I'm
in
just
that
saying
regard.
he's not going to have the stamina that those four guys could perceive him as weaker than he even is because he's the oldest.
He has to have 39-day stamina. That's the only criteria there. He doesn't have to beat him. Doesn't all that. He's just got to be able to last
agree.
and not blow out like he did last time in the game.
I agree,
So-
and I love Varner. So if he can hang in there and really
You
play,
didn't love him enough for a merge, so
no, I'm giving you my opinion of who I think will, and I don't think.
all right,
I
Malcolm.
think he'd be an easy vote off.
What
is
about
what I'm
Malcolm?
saying. Malcolm, he's 29. I thought, Malcolm, are you ever getting out of your 20s? Seems like he's been in his 20s forever.
Yeah, I've been watching him a while, hadn't we?
He's living in Hermosa Beach, California. And from the interviews I've seen with Malcolm, I think he wants to, because he's told us before that he gave them, even in his first season, lots and lots of snarky comments and stuff to make him out to be a bit of a villain. And I think he's shooting for that this time because he's being very arrogant. And I just kind of think I won't be surprised if he kind of goes for a little bit of the villain role this time.
So I was so disappointed after watching his video, and that it was a cliche-riddled barrage of stuff that didn't seem to be true to what I remembered of him. And I thought, wow, you're like already trying too hard. I was just really disappointed after watching his Meet Malcolm video or whatever they call it.
Here's the thing, and I think it could save him, is so many people have said, I want to play with Malcolm, he's so authentic. But that was the thing that got me, and I think what you're saying, he doesn't come across as authentic and genuine the way I have known him to be. And I think that could hurt him if he continues that. Hopefully he won't do that.
I got no merge.
I put merge. I put that he would make the merge. So.
Nope. I think that's going to trip him up. It'll be easy to get rid of him.
He can juggle the alliances with all the people that want to work with him.
If he plays differently than what he's saying before the season began, I see what you're saying, right? And I understand why people would be hopeful for him to make the merge. But the version of him that I see in those videos, no.
Yeah.
It's not a good player.
You and I both have seen Malcolm turn on his charm. And it's amazing. He is a charming individual. He's a big guy, and he is adorable. So I think that's going to come through. I don't think he's going to show that to the people he's playing, what he was showing in the interviews.
Yeah.
That's why I said I thought, no, there's a lot of people want to play with him. It'll take a while before it would even change their image of him, because they came in with an image of Malcolm's authentic and he's a good guy. And so even if he's playing a different way or doing something different, I still think that he's going to make the merge. And he wants Sierra out. That's one of the reasons that he doesn't want to play with Sierra.
Yeah, so there's another example, and this closed door strategy coming in.
Yeah.
As opposed to, get to the end.
Well, come on. He played with Brad. So if he can play with anybody, if he play with Brad. So, okay, that's it for Malcolm. We differ again. Michaela. She's from Fort Worth. She's still 25. Even though Michaela is one of the unknowns this season, I think she could go deep in the game this time.
Yeah?
I think
you got her making the merge?
Definitely.
I went ahead and went merge with Michaela also.
Definitely, yes. And the thing is, she doesn't like Sierra either. That's why I was thinking Sierra wasn't going to make it, because there's already a couple of the people on her tribe that said, I don't like her.
Yeah.
Or I'm afraid of her, or she's just too strategic, and, she'll turn on you, and they don't like the way she has played the game.
Can't count on her.
Yeah, they don't trust her. So when they go in with that opinion, that's kind of hard to change quickly.
Could be.
Unless they really need her. But I don't think Malcolm will try. I think he's going to pull Michaela in, because he has said that Michaela and Zeke, he had something in common with them. He's been in their shoes, and he's the only one there that's been in their shoes and coming in, back-to-back games like that. So, and I think he's
got the Texas connection.
That's right.
With Michaela.
True.
Anything else about Michaela?
And besides, I love Malcolm's family. So
we're on Michaela, sweetie.
I know, but I didn't have a lot more to say about Michaela, because I don't think she will be intimidated.
How's the X Factor going to affect her game?
I don't think it's going to for her. I think it'll affect Zeke more.
She'll be able to overcome it pretty quick.
I think she will, and the fact that she's good in challenges, she'll be on their radar, but is she going to dial it back or not? I think she, and she's with a lot of other strategic-minded people. They're not going to react, I don't think, the same way as, I don't think Aubrey and, Sierra and Haley, and those guys are also strategic-minded people. Mm-hmm. I don't think they'll necessarily react to that quite as much. They might respect it a little more.
So we both got her making the merge. Moving on. How about Sandra?
And I don't think she will be intimidated by Sandra at all.
Right.
And kind of think that she might like her outspokenness and know right where she stands. So
yeah, I think she's looking forward to that.
Now we're to Sandra. Sandra's only 41. Goodness, she's played that much Survivor before she even made 42. Okay, she's from North Carolina, like I said, as well as Varner. And she says she wants to align with alpha males this time. That's her strategy going in. That she wants to convince them that she can get them to the end.
She's
she
a
knows
student
how
of the
to do
game.
that.
She's seen this strategy before, and that's the one that she wants to play.
Yep, and that, nobody's giving me $1 million. I'm content and happy to take home the 100,000, but I can take you with me. I can get you. Just
Do you
stay
think that's
with
a
me.
believable strategy?
I don't know. I wouldn't count anything Sandra says she can do. I won't count her out until she's out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think they are all insane to keep her in the game? Absolutely. Other than I can see some advantages too, and that people just want to play with her, or they want to learn from her, or they just want to. But I think she's way too dangerous for anyone leaving the game. I have her making the merge, and yet I understand she could be the first one out.
Yeah, I have her not making the merge. I think she will get eliminated.
I went ahead and
Just
went
on
with the
principle.
merge.
Of course, I thought that in her second appearance, too.
Yeah.
But the whole her not me strategy and the not the person sitting next to me strategy that gets her a win at the end
But here's the thing.
makes her dangerous in that sense.
I think they're going to be more. It's going to help her because she's on Tony's tribe. And I think a lot of them are going to be a lot more concerned and worried about Tony and what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to pull some of that attention off Sandra. And like she said, if I can get to day 4, I can go to the end. She said, if they leave me in that long, she's just got to get a foot in.
Right.
And I just kind of think Tony might give her that foot in because people seem to be even more afraid of him because he's so unpredictable. At least Sandra is somewhat more predictable, and she says what she thinks, and everybody knows she's so long as it ain't me, I'll go along with the majority vote. Mm-hmm. Everybody pretty much knows that.
I don't think just because she could get to day 4, she's safe. I think that's
No,
naive.
I don't either. But I
her
get her
view
point.
of that. But it's a good soundbite.
That's some bravado, and yes, I like the bravado.
Yep.
And I love Sandra. Let's just go there. I love Sandra.
Hey, this is another point
This
that
is
we
what
differ
I would
on.
like to happen.
She doesn't offer much to the game to me.
She.
I respect that she maneuvered her way there, right? But the not Lil, not Russell, not Parvati vote at the end somehow doesn't seem the same to me. It never has.
Yeah.
But
Well, we've
kudos
always.
to you for being able to pull that off. In the end, you got the money, and that works.
Absolutely. You got there,
So,
you did it. And you did it twice, and you're the only one that has.
It's
so.
just taking a lot of credit for it. Isn't that always rubs me the wrong way.
Yep. So anyway, I just thought I just can't count her out, and it will excite me just to kind of.
Well, it'll be another
I'm
thing
not
we can
gonna
go
put
back
her
and
that
forth
she
on.
will win,
Yeah.
but I just want to see her play,
Well, that's fair.
and I enjoy watching her. I like her.
Yeah.
I like her as a person, and I like her as a Survivor player. So even though, yes, she can't
offers
do
compelling
challenges,
gameplay to you.
I like the way she does things. I like her honesty. I like, how she maneuvers her way around things almost seamlessly by telling people things she's going to do. And people just let her somehow. I don't understand it, but I'm anxious to watch it again.
Yeah, let's
it's been
see
a
it.
long time. Let's see what she does.
Sure. Next up.
Tony. Tony is 42. He's from Jersey City. And he says he's bringing his bag of tricks on steroids.
New tricks, he says. Yeah.
Yeah, new tricks, but still, it's the same concept. It feels like the same concept.
Yeah.
I think that worked great for Tony one time. I don't know if that's going to work a second time.
One of the true game changers that's in the cast, for sure. That's where Tony ranks for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think he's probably a really good guy
Deserves the
and a
title.
good person. But here's the thing that gets me with Tony. And people fear him. I think they'll target him. And his energy frazzles me sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's just like, what's he doing? I think that kind of energy consistently, and we know he can do it 39 days.
Yep.
It would just be really hard to take, I think. And he's talking
And
about
yet,
amping it
he
up.
won
Yes,
doing
he
that.
did. Once. He won once. And it was wonderful. And he did a great job. But people know now. They're going in with information of how he operates and what he does. That doesn't work the same.
There's big expectations for Tony, and I'm curious to see if that gets in his head and affects his game at all.
Well, he still says he has passion for the game, and that's why he agreed to play. But he said if he loses, he won't play it again. And part of me is like,
I don't believe you.
Sandra is such a huge fan.
Uh-huh.
She would play anytime, any place.
Tony's
anybody.
a super fan, too. He's,
I know, but that's what disappoints me is that, well, if I lose once, then I wouldn't play again.
I don't believe it.
That just bothered me. I don't
Yeah.
either. I think it would spark a fire in him like,
It's
no,
like
I can do
a
it
winter
better next
season?
time.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he just doesn't understand that yet, but he probably would if he lost. So
Yeah, they say so many things. You and I know what it's like to be in the moment and have someone interviewing you with a camera and a mic in your face and just trying to think of something to say. So
yeah, and he's
merge, no merge.
He basically said that he's loud and he's spontaneous and he's just who he is and he's not changing that. And I think that will get him in trouble. I said no merge.
I have him making the merge. I think he's got
We are
too
so
much.
different. This
Yeah, we are. We're real split. He's got a lot to offer in the first stage of the game.
Totally. And I could totally see them going, oh, no, we want his strength. We'll get rid of him later, blah, blah. But I wouldn't trust it that I could get rid of him later. But that's just me. Okay, Troy's in. 54, Miami. Enough said.
You don't have anything else to say about it?
No,
We've
sorry.
never been big Troy Zan fans.
Sorry, I'm not. I know there's a lot of people that really like him.
He has a following.
And I
yeah.
think he's probably a really nice guy, but I don't.
I see him as someone who
didn't like
blew
his-
up his own game. Who,
Yeah, I didn't like his gameplay.
who adds insult to injury. He's remembered for that.
Yeah, well,
That's like his defining moment, and
I
he
don't
acknowledges
remember a lot
it.
about him, honestly, because I just kind of went, So that's on me. That's bad,
It
Joanne.
could certainly leave you with. I can see why you would have that impression, given how he behaved in.
Well, and I never met him
the
in
season that
person,
he
so
was
I didn't
in.
get that other feel of
Right.
who he was. And,
There's nothing about him that made me his previous experience in the game that made me want to see him again.
that's where
I think
I'm
he's
at.
going to make the merge because he's got something to offer stage one of the game, but he's right there with Haley as far as being surprised.
Well, here's my bottom line, and I know that he could even go deep in the game because if he's in a good, tight alpha male alliance. Okay, get
Yeah.
it, got it. However, I went with no merge because there's other people I would rather see play.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
That's kind of basically the way
Anything
it
else
is.
you want to say about the Red Tribe, the Mana Tribe?
No, just that my 4 people I said no merge were Tony, Troy, Varner, and Sierra.
You had 4. I did too. I had Aubrey, Sierra, Malcolm, and Sandra.
Oh, you had Malcolm not make. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
You're nuts. I'm not listening to anything else you say. That's dumb.
We agreed that the
I
version
didn't.
of Malcolm that you see in the Meet Malcolm video is not a good Malcolm for the game.
Yeah, but come on. You've met Malcolm.
Yes, I have.
You
Been a huge Malcolm
know
fan.
how he.
I think he's got turned around. I think that he's somehow bought into the whole Sierra voted her mom out
No.
vibe, and so he's saying that he's going to be that kind of a person.
He drips charisma.
No, he doesn't in that video.
Not in the video, I agree.
He doesn't.
I agree with that, but I can't believe that.
Comes across as a big tool.
I don't believe that he cannot drip some charisma. I don't think he can help it.
He arrogantly said that
I know
was
he did that there.
Yeah.
But
his mind's not in the right place.
I still
survive
think it's
in the
a
game.
put-on thing, and it's not.
We'll see.
Yeah.
He
okay.
needs cover and distraction to make it, as far as
All
I'm
right.
concerned.
Well, I guess we most disagree about Malcolm.
Oh, you're not going
Okay.
to call me on the Sandra thing. All right, you're going to leave it with Malcolm.
Oh, we've already heard enough of what you had to say about that.
Okay, you said most disagree.
Well, yeah. Well, but I could see Sandra
Who's-
go out
who's
first.
next?
I could.
Yeah.
So that's not as foreign to me as Malcolm going out.
That version of Malcolm in the video shows up.
Maybe. Okay, how are we going to pronounce this? Nuku?
That's good. Nuku.
Nuku tribe, blue buffs.
Yep. Blue, integrity, loyalty. Red was power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Not sure why she's back.
27, New York.
But we differ again.
But on 2 seasons again.
Yeah.
We differ? What do you mean we differ?
In the sense, our appreciation of her, what she has to offer to the game from a lot of other. She's got a fan base too.
She's got game. She's got game. I just don't. I've never enjoyed it. I can't connect with her. I don't have. I just don't.
I don't remember her as someone who has game. I remember her as someone who is credited as having game. I don't remember it. It's not. Whatever she's done has never stood out enough to stick with me and remember her as a valued player in the game.
Well, I said I think she could be very dangerous in the game in that she has the potential to go deep or even win. I do believe that. But that's one reason I would take her out early. And she also wants to work with Sari, which is on her tribe. So they could be a lethal force, you know, if those girls get together and, you know, she's got the right alliances. I don't know if Sari would want to work with her, but I don't know that she wouldn't. So, and they are on the same tribe.
Gangster
Sometimes
Barbie
it's
and
like,
Gangster Oprah.
okay, who wants to work with me? Yeah, you want to work with me? Let's do it. But anyway, she's not one of the people Sari listed, but and she mentioned an all-girl alliance. Several people on this tribe have mentioned an all-girl alliance.
Yeah.
If they do it, that's 5 powerful women.
Sure.
And those guys could be in trouble over there if they really do go with that, because I think they could pull Ty over, or, you know, he's not one of the strong men.
Actually, Zeke said
too
that he saw himself aligning with the strategic women. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm totally open to that.
Well, that's why I thought they could easily have Ty and Zeke and take the strong guys, Ozzy and JT, you know. Well, we'll talk about them when we get there and their thoughts.
Yeah, finish up on Andrea.
Okay. I said she would make the merge.
I got her no merge.
And your reasons were just 'cause.
There's an untrustworthy vibe to her.
True.
And I think some of these folks have the wherewithal to pick up on that and to act on it. But I've never been in the go Andrea, love to have you back, you're an awesome player camp. Yeah. So I've come at it from a different perspective. Maybe it's just confirmation bias on my part.
Well, me personally, I would. I'm okay if she doesn't make the merge. That's okay with me.
Yeah, but you
I've
figured
never really enjoyed
in the context of the season that she's going to. This is your prediction.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy.
Mine is the opposite.
The other season's gameplay so much. So that's just me.
Right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's move on to the person who should not be named. Brad. Okay, I'm coming through. Stop, Joanne. Don't be judgmental. Brad, 47, Tampa, Florida. Monica's husband.
Yep. Or to paraphrase Marissa Peterson, Jervis's niece in episode 3, Blood versus Water. I do not like you, Brad Culpepper. Although she chose some slightly different words to begin that sentence with.
I just was never a Brad Culpepper fan.
Yeah.
Actually, I was never a Monica fan that much either. So, but
no one who speaks that much about themselves in the third person becomes endearing.
Yeah, no, that drives me up the wall. You know that, and it drives you too. So we have that coming. We can't stand it, but I just can't. I haven't been able to.
So Probst's dream player.
Can't.
Probst loves him.
I have had issues getting past his huge ego from last time. And he says he's aware of that. He's going to dial it back. You know, he's going to not have the strong personality right out the gate. You know, he'll save that for later. And I thought, I do not believe you can do it.
Yeah, it could be a struggle, right?
And yet he could. Anybody could, but I'm having trouble believing that. And the fact is I just didn't want to see him play, and I had to. He's the one I felt got shoved down my throat.
I don't want to watch Brad. Not only him, but some of these others. Anyway, so here's where I ended up with that. I have a similar approach, and I'm like, I'm not sure I value what you have to offer to the game, but here's the where it can be interesting and where you can get your expectations just completely blown away is that there is such negativity around someone like this. You take someone who comes at it a different way, comes at the game in a different way. It's like, what does each of these people have to offer, pro and con? Who can most benefit me, right? When you're looking at who to align with and things like that. And I believe he offers a lot to someone else in the game in that regard.
Oh,
because he generates.
My stomach's getting upset.
Because he generates that kind of response, right? Because it's so overblown in that respect. So I actually have him making the merge.
He's probably a really nice guy, but I just have this
Who knows?
thing.
We don't have any data to make that decision,
it's more about me and not about him. So I just, the ego thing just really turned me off.
In the context of the game, you think that's going to hurt him,
Here's
and he
the thing
won't merge.
that bothers me. Really bothers me. Some of the women said, "Oh yeah, I want to work with Brad."
Why does that bother you?
Because people want to work with him, and I didn't think they would.
That's brilliant. He offers this great
I know.
shield that you
Good
can
for
throw
him.
all this negativity on.
Yeah, good for him.
Think
And
about what he offers as a tool in the game.
what kind of tool are we talking?
You don't have
never
to get
mind.
linguistic.
Joanne.
Look at his value to you in the context of the game.
Okay, here's what
It's
I
a huge
I said.
distraction.
I could even see where he could go very deep in the game, because if he got into that whole, meat shield, somebody wants to keep him for that as
That they're all
someone
using
they can
each
get
other
rid of.
for mutual
Yes,
cover.
Yes. Then I could see him go deeper in the game.
Yep.
And even make the merge. But again, I'm choosing no merge for him because
You don't like
that's what I want.
Just personally, you don't like
And
him. Okay.
I think
Fair enough.
I think the thing that bugged me about this season, I had accepted it, I was ready to give him an opportunity, and the very first thing out his mouth, he said, "Well, everyone will be intimidated by him because he almost made the merge." And I thought, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You did not just say that. You almost made the merge. Is he the only one here in this season that didn't make a merge? That didn't at least make the merge?
Michaela did.
Okay.
She almost made the merge. She's got the same story as Brad Culpepper.
No, she doesn't.
Huge physical threat.
Now, you will not
An
insult
athletic-
Michaela that way.
Athletic bonus.
I will hurt you.
To
Do
any
not.
tribe.
No. Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree. But I said no merge. Just
Yep,
in
I
that,
got merge.
That makes me happy.
Next.
That I said no merge. Sari.
Sari's
I
back.
love Sari. I still love her name.
We've been
Want to see her
huge
play.
Cherie fans.
I know she's played many times. I know a lot of people do not want to see her again.
Yeah, coming
I
back for
can't
her
help
fourth.
it. I can't help it. I love me some Cherie. And
Well, she has a lot to offer the game
she
potentially.
does. She does. She's such a
She's
good
been on a growth
strategic player.
arc. Yeah.
I agree. And I really want to see with the odds, knowing coming in that Cerise's got a huge target too.
Yeah.
And, she and Sandra should be the first two out. And then, or maybe Tony and then Sandra and her or something. But I don't think they will. So I think there's enough people that love her, are fans of hers in the game, and want to play with her.
Yeah, so I came
I
at it
think she's
differently.
gonna
I
get in.
came at it from the perspective of enough of these folks view her as a threat, as a cerebral threat. She's going to go. So I got no merge for her, even though I would love to watch her play the whole season again.
Oh, no, I put merge.
Okay.
But I thought
Anything else you wanna add?
Yes, she wants to play with. She listed Caleb. Her perfect alliance would be Caleb, Ty, Michaela, Tony, and even Aubrey if Aubrey was open to it. But she doesn't know Aubrey and doesn't know if Aubrey even likes her. But
Yeah.
Aubrey does, and she would play with her if she were on her tribe. But anyway, she also thinks Ozzy might target her though.
Yeah.
Which isn't good because he's on her tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that happening. Ozzy went after her and they got rid of her
So
early on. But I think the all-female thing's going to kick in. And that's why I think
Oh, you think an all-female alliance will
it could
gel and hold?
because of Ty and Zeke. Even if one of them, one of the females got, no, I'm going to go with these strong guys or whatever. You still got, I think Ty and Zeke could be pulled over.
I think this is where the theme of the season is going to trip some of these players up. Mm-hmm. Because it does, as much as it's a bit of a goof, and in the end, it shouldn't matter what the season's named, and sometimes they name it, they come up with the theme after they've cast everyone. It does impact how some people play and how they perceive themselves in the context of the game. Mm-hmm. And the thing about this theme is very individualistic. It's all about celebrating the self, right? The game changers. You initially think, oh, it's positive. Probst actually qualified it and said, well, they tried to make a change. Because you initially think, oh, this is about successfully changing the game in some significant way.
I think it's more about people who are willing to do it.
They have to backpedal because you start pointing things out.
We should never get too caught up in the theme of the show because it's...
Right, but I think Cherie's one of the ones that it could end up hurting her, where the theme could hurt her in that regard. And that's why I had her as a no merge, that she's just going to get targeted.
Well, I do think Ozzy and JT will probably target her because they know. Mm-hmm. And I think they should be afraid of her. But I still think there's enough of the younger people playing that would be okay playing with her.
All right.
So that's my hope anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, Debbie, she's 51 from Pennsylvania. I personally think it was too soon for Debbie to play again, as well as Ty and Aubrey.
Why, though? I mean, she's there for comic relief, so they can list the job titles.
No.
Change the job title every time she gets a confessional.
I don't think she's going to play the same game this time around because, people didn't
How can she not?
take her as seriously. She's got game. Debbie's got game.
She can't maintain it, though. It's not sustainable for her. She loses the thread, and then she does something like the way she alienated Ty.
Well, I didn't say she wasn't going to alienate
Now,
people.
she was a big champion trying to go for an all-women's alliance, so
yes.
she could potentially fall back into that, although she says she's got a chip on her shoulder with regards to Aubrey. There's no love there.
But Aubrey's not on her tribes, which is a good thing initially.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, initially. That's all this is all about the initial, what's going to happen off the bat, because you got to stay in there long enough to make alliances.
It could be a mistake, but Kooky Debbie, which I think is her role, is her archetype to being the kooky player, is disposable still. That's how I looked at her before. Now, she made it a ways in her first season. That I agree with. I believe Debbie has a game, and I believe she'll stay a bit. But the thing is she's an easy vote off. Yep, always was, even though she floated for quite a while.
But she could also get in with people, make good moves, and stay around a while.
If she doesn't annoy them real quick.
Exactly. That's the thing.
These people got to get on with the game. They're not vacationing.
These people are very serious.
Some of the people in Debbie's first season were out for the adventure and a vacation.
Though, I don't know. She could get in with Ty and whatever. But I went ahead and put... that I put no merge, even though I thought she could make it if she's in the all-female alliance. But I don't know, I just had the feeling she would.
Yeah, anybody could get dragged along, but I don't think she's going to make it this time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that prediction. Anything else?
No, other than she said she was open of playing with JT.
I like you say no, and then you always have something after
except.
no.
She mentioned
JT, who's up next?
I think that's why I said JT.
What do you have on JT?
JT, 31, Mobile, Alabama. JT, I think, could get targeted.
He needs some redemption.
He could get targeted.
I think he feels a need for some redemption. He had a
he wants it. He wants it
really
badly.
Rough go his last time.
He wants it badly. He does. But there's a lot of people out there this season that don't just want it. They want it badly.
Yeah, that's
why I think it's going to be.
Returnee seasons are always like that, though.
I think this particular group just really feels something to prove to themselves.
Okay, I'll have to see that to
not every one of them, but a lot of them. And anyway, I think it hurts JT to have Ozzy as the other provider on the tribe because JT was the provider, and that's his role. That's what he counts on. People are going to love me and keep me around because they want to eat. Mm-hmm. But hello, Ozzy's there. Mm-hmm. They don't need. There's people there to be that provider, and he's won before, and I think that puts more of a target on him than say Ozzy.
Yeah, that
because
for sure.
because he doesn't have the advantage of, oh yeah, we need JT because he brings us food. Well, if Ozzy's bringing all the food they need, then
You think it's that simple?
that hurt. Well, no, I don't think it's that simple. I think Ozzy's going to want to keep him because he's going to be his shield. Ozzy's going to go, oh yes,
And vice versa.
JT, he's my shield. Nobody's
Yes.
going to vote for me before him.
Mutually beneficial for both of them.
And I
so you
think-
got him merge or no merge?
I think they'll work together with that, but I still think that female alliance could happen, or some variation of that with the other guys. And I don't like it, and I shocked myself when I put no merge for JT.
Yeah, that is a
I
little
was
surprising.
like, I can't believe I just typed that. I put no merge for JT.
Okay.
In my mind, JT, of course, would make the merge. And yet, I'm afraid that he won't. Though, in later, I come back around to something later on.
I see. All right. Well, I look forward to hearing what that is.
But for now-
I have him as merge.
Gosh, we
think
really
he's-
are almost completely
Yep.
opposite.
Yeah.
Who've we agreed on?
Somebody's going to be really wrong here.
I know, more than usual. And next we come to Ozzy, who's 34 now. At least he's out of his 20s. And he still lives in Venice, California.
Yeah.
His 4th season. And Ozzy, same thing. They'll need me to eat. And I thought, well, Ozzy, but JT could feed the tribe too. So again, he's going to be on the other side of that.
That's good tie.
But Ozzy wants, like I said, his own meat shield, and JT would be great for that. And he talked about specific people that he thought he could work with because they thought they could beat him. Andrea, he listed Andrea, Brad, Malcolm, Caleb, Troy Zan, and maybe even Aubrey, Ty, and Debbie. And he said that he really thinks that he's going to bring a better social game.
Would love to see that.
If he doesn't, I'm going to have to kick you in the behind when I see you next, because he has to.
He's one of the all-time
I love him, but
most popular people to
Yes.
play. If I look at the stats for who we've interviewed,
absolutely.
he's the only one who gets close to Parvati and Amanda, folks like that, in terms
Yep.
of total downloads.
Yep. He's
Yeah.
done really good with all of. Well, and he did good to get close to them in the game. He just didn't. He gets distracted and he didn't follow it
Yeah.
through. And he loves playing that. He thinks he's got that tight alliance, and he just went for the physical enjoyment that he loves so much, and didn't always stay focused on the social game or the and so hopefully he won't have a showmance this time. And,
Another of the folks that's a true game changer in some of the choices, what he's been able to pull off. The game definitely, he left an impression on the game for sure, and he's done that in multiple seasons.
Well,
So I look forward to seeing what he has to bring. I got him as
he's
merge.
charismatic too, and he just leaves an impression. But people, here's the thing: people disregard him. These people, these returnees who think they've got good game, discount Ozzy. They're like, oh yeah, and go in with Ozzy because he got no game, got no social game,
Right.
And yeah. We're not worried about him.
He's not a finisher.
Let's let him feed us. Let's let him do the challenges, and that'll help us out. And then we'll, cut him down when we're ready, because he's got no social game
Sure.
and he can't win.
This could be his Rob Mariano season.
And that could be what gets him. I definitely put merge.
Yeah, I got him for merge also.
And I think he'll fight hard to keep JT, and that might be helpful.
Oh. That sounds like that's your reason.
No,
for
I have another
having
reason, but we're
merging.
not there yet.
All right.
And I know
Who's
how
next?
you dislike that. Miss Sarah, she's 32 now. Lives in Iowa. And I still think Sarah has a chance to win the whole thing, though she let me down last time. But I
Yeah.
thought so then, and I still do. I still think she's a good player, and she's got really good insights. She
does have good
Tony
instincts. At
just
least she did
tripped
in
her up.
that first season.
She
It
trusted
wasn't-
him too much.
It wasn't so much him, though. She choked right when
Yeah.
they got at the merge, right?
She
So-
did, but she was, I think, unnerved before that. But anyway, I look forward to seeing her play again, I guess is my point. I want to see what Sarah can do now that she's had time to, watch her season and look at things and try to figure things out and come back and
I'm
do
looking
it
forward
again.
to seeing her play also. I hope she brings something different, and I just am looking forward to seeing how she tackles the game. I have her as making the merge. I think she's got enough to make the merge.
We agree on that.
Okay.
And like I said, I the only thing that bothered me that Sarah said is from being at the Ponderosa, she said that because she was asked about the two people they didn't know, and she basically said that she thought Michaela looked, she said, quote unquote, looks like a lazy diva. And I thought, where did that come from? What was Michaela doing at Ponderosa during that week or whatever?
Well, given that she had only had a couple weeks off from her season, she probably was trying to conserve some energy and rest.
And
so I could see how,
yeah,
I could see how.
Okay, but I'm probably going to have to ask Sarah that at some point. What gave you, because I don't see Michaela that way at all.
Yeah, but she didn't have the benefit.
I know she couldn't talk to her. They couldn't.
Well, she hadn't seen her season the way we have.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I know, but it just struck me as interesting that she called her a lazy diva. It's like, okay, that just kind of
she didn't know the circumstances she was under. So okay,
yeah.
I thought. Next up, Sierra Dawn Thomas, another one of those that everybody's like, really?
No.
Why is she back? But moving on, what do you got for Sierra Dawn Thomas?
I thought she did okay in her season. She was an alternate. She wasn't. She didn't go through until Natalie Anderson pulled out at the last minute because they called. Sierra was actually out on the road doing rodeo, and they called her on a Friday afternoon, and she flew out on Sunday. So she didn't have much time to get all her affairs in order to be gone. But she did it. I guess she really wanted it.
Yeah.
So she did it, and
well, her chances at making $1 million doing this are a lot better than they are in the rodeo.
Yeah.
So I think I understand the pragmatism of that.
And she's another one.
Got a 1 in 20 here
that says she would like an all-girl alliance. So that's why I thought this team was looking pretty good for that all-girl thing.
It won't hold.
At least I'm not sure all of them will hold, but if you got 3 strong girls and you pull in, 2 or 3 other guys, because it sounds like Brad's wanting to go toward the women. And if Ty and Zeke then decide.
Zeke said he was.
That's a majority. 3 guys, 3 women.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not all women.
For as long as that tribe holds together, sure.
So what are your thoughts on Sierra?
I think she'll make the merge. I would have been fine having someone else in the cast, but she's here. I don't know that she offers a lot to the game. She didn't leave any lasting impression on me. And I don't know that she has that big of a following, but I haven't looked at any of the numbers on any of these folks, so.
I thought she had game, and I think she gets along with I remember her as being one of the women that get along well with the guys, and that she's strong.
She didn't necessarily get along with the guys. She got in arguments with Foley right out of the gate.
Oh, well, I wouldn't argue with him.
Well, I'm responding to what you said.
I know, but yet I still think they're very close friends. Just saying. She was close friends with Foley after the game was over.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
I saw pictures, and she was at his house, and they were all hanging, and, so.
Well, you got that experience to bond over, sure.
Well, sure.
There's just nothing compelling about her game. I don't have any kind of, wow, I'd really like to see her play again vibe.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that.
With Sarah Lucina, I left that season, even though she choked, and basically got herself voted out.
To see her play again.
Yeah, I would be happy to see her play again. I thought we didn't get to see everything she had to offer. I didn't have that kind of response to Sierra Dawn Thomas at all. So
no, I think she could play a good game, but I don't think personally she's in the league of most of the other returning players.
If she had pulled off the barrel roll, if they had been able to win that challenge. When she convinced them to all just try to step roll on those barrels, maybe I would think about her differently. That's the only thing I can think of. I think she'll make the merge.
I do too.
Because she'll play the middle, and she's got that going for her. I think that was her success. Well, if there's another way to characterize what you were saying about her previous game.
Under radar.
Yeah, somewhat. Although you don't get into arguments. You don't get to be under the radar if you're going to argue with your tribe mates openly like that. But she played the middle, and somehow it's a not me, it's a Sandra game.
It got
something
her
to
quite
that
a ways in the game.
Well, it got Sandra 2 wins playing the middle.
Exactly.
The not me game.
That's why I definitely thought she'd make the merge, because there's so many other huge targets out there.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
easy to overlook her. She didn't make a big impression, so I think she'll make the merge.
I wasn't opposed to seeing her play again at all. So that was good that you didn't have like, oh no, I don't want to see this person play, like we won't name again.
Okay.
But okay, let's move on to Tony, something we agreed on.
You mean Ty?
Did I skip Ty?
Ty comes after Sierra. Tony's in the other
Oh,
tribe.
you're right.
You just
I went
flipped
to
your page and
I
read the
flipped
wrong
my
one.
page and read the wrong name.
Okay.
Ty.
Yep. Ty's back.
52, San Francisco. I still thought it was too soon for Ty to come back. I thought they just needed a little
It
more.
would have built our desire to
Yes.
see him play again
Yes.
if we had some more
'Cause
distance.
we love him, but it just seems like it's too soon. Why couldn't you have saved him for a little, later? And
Mm-hmm.
because here's the thing, I don't think Ty is really going to play any different game than he did
No,
before.
I don't see him as a big adapt, improvise, overcome kind of player. No.
And I think the idols are going to be way more harder to find this time. And I hope he doesn't hurt himself even more, because he really kind of messed himself up getting that thing.
He flirted with,
He flirted with a lot of danger, and
Getting
he was
taken out of the game.
He's obviously got a really good immune system.
Yeah.
That it didn't
Especially
take him
for
out of
his
the
age.
game as badly as he messed his legs and arms up climbing that tree, and with bare skin. So, but anyway, I still have him making the merge.
I do too.
I think he can still, people won't be as threatened by him. Mm-hmm. The only thing that's a disadvantage is that he did flip flop around, and he doesn't think people will see him as a flip flopper. But I kind of think they might.
Big question: are they going to bring Mark the Chicken back?
Well,
Will there be another Mark the Chicken?
I think he was even asked that or something, but there were. He said maybe a crab or maybe, and I thought, no, there's going to be chicken for you, Ty. There's going to be chicken.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna know that you don't want to eat them. Mm-hmm. And so
I don't know if everyone will know that. I don't think everyone.
You don't think all
in
these
this
people
cast watch? Yeah, I definitely think there are people
Well,
in
they'll
this
know at
cast that
some
do not
point.
watch.
It'll get around, and he'll tell them right off.
Someone else will tell them. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay, so we got merged for Ty. Anything else you want to say about him? Anything that
Nope.
stood out from the interviews? No. Okay.
well, other than he did say he wants to play with Caleb, Debbie, and Aubrey, but he'd also like to play with JT and Sarah. So then I started looking at, okay, well maybe JT will make the merge.
Because he's coming up in all these other discussions.
Yeah, Ty wants him.
Yeah.
And then we went to Zeke.
Yep.
And he
last one.
said, hey, he wants to be JT Steven.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, okay, maybe I got that wrong on JT.
Yeah?
I'm thinking he
So you're gonna
can
circle
make
back?
it now. I'm toying with that idea that
You got to pick someone
he
else who
might-
doesn't
he
make
might-
the merge then.
No, I don't, because I chose like 8 people or something.
Oh, you really only needed 7.
I know that,
Okay.
but so I don't remember how many I picked on this tribe. But if I did pick 4, I'll definitely go back and put JT as merge. I don't think it was good for Zeke to return that quickly either.
Right?
And I wasn't as big a Zeke fan at the end of last season as I was in the beginning. And I think part of that's Prope's fault, too, because I think he hyped Zeke so much.
But what if it was
before
because
the
of what
season.
happened here?
Well, that's the only reason I could think that it was that.
Uh-huh.
That Probst was remembering more what he did, because he had said a few things that, oh yeah, and Zeke blah, blah. And I thought, no, he didn't do that. And so maybe he is going to do that this season, and that will be fun. I like Zeke. I think he's fun. But I was just a little bit, I think, disappointed last season. And but anyway,
Seemed like our expectations got out of whack with the reality
yes,
there, huh?
it's the
Although
expectations that
there
trip
were,
you up.
while going along through the game with him, there were moments that he had that just seemed like they were really special Survivor moments. So I did enjoy watching him play for the most part. I have him making the merge.
I do too. I said he thinks Tony, Sandra, and Sari are dangerous, but he'd like to be JT Steven. Therefore, maybe Sari will go and JT will stay. was what I was thinking at this point. So that
Now you're
could be
coming
bad
in
news
line.
for Sari.
Yep. So to recap for me on the Nuku tribe, I've got Andrea, Sari, and Debbie not making the merge. I got everybody else making the merge.
I didn't recap that, so I don't know which ones. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll figure it out later. So I kind of went with, I thought I can't settle on Final Four, so I kind of went with what it would be fun, who it would be fun for me to have for Final Three. And I chose Sandra, Sari, Aubrey, Sarah, and Michaela as Final Five.
That was a little more than 3, so you meant 5. Okay.
I said Final Four.
You said Final
Five.
3.
No, I didn't.
We have it recorded.
I didn't.
Okay.
You haven't
So
proved it.
you got your 5. You went with a
But I
Final
meant-
5 instead of a
I
Final
meant
4?
Final Five.
Okay.
Yes, and I also included 3 more of, I would not be unhappy to see Malcolm, Ozzy, or JT play well enough to make it there either.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you couldn't get even to 5.
I'm on medicine. I can't help it, so you cannot hold me to that.
All right.
So
How convenient
that's my
for you.
Out.
Yeah.
Yes, for me.
So my Final 4, I went a little wacky too. I did the same same kind of idea as
How
you
dare
in
you
that
give me
regard.
grief.
I went with Varner, JT, Sarah, and Zeke.
Fun group. You went for the fun group that
With
it would be
Varner.
to root for.
With Varner for the win, which I've made this mistake in the past. I know that. I fully acknowledge it. But after I saw his interview and I thought, you just said the strategy. I agreed with everything you said. And I had you
Wasn't he your USB
going at,
last?
yeah, I just said that.
I just,
Yeah.
okay.
So here I am doing it again.
You're going to have him as your
I got him
USB?
for the win. Yeah, well, that's where I am right now. The thing is I leave all those doors open because I want to hear what the other super fans have to say in the next On the Grill Part 2 show that we'll do on Saturday. Okay, so real quick, do your first out. Who's first out?
Okay.
Did you not do it?
No, I didn't do it because
Okay, just do one real quick.
I'm thinking I think the Blue Tribe will lose.
Interesting.
So I have no clue why. I'm just shot in the dark here.
Uh-huh.
And who would go home, though, right off the bat?
Aubrey, Caleb, Sierra, Haley, Varner, Malcolm.
No, that's not
Michaela.
the Blue Tribe.
Oh, yeah, that's the Red Tribe. Sorry.
Yeah. What are you trying to
I'm
do?
just reading names.
Uh-huh.
So Andrea,
I know.
Culpepper.
Please send Culpepper home.
There you go. All right. So my first out I had is Sari. I also thought Blue was going to lose.
Well, I know that's a possibility. I do.
I'm just
But
looking at the 2 tribes, and it seems like the Red Tribe is going to have more.
They've got powerhouse men over
Somehow
there.
they have a little more to offer in balance, was my assessment. I'm not 100% clear on that.
But Caleb's a monster.
The Blue Tribe actually has an advantage.
Okay. What is it?
Do you want to know? There's something that happens early on.
Oh, no, I don't want to know that. No, I don't.
Okay,
Shut
fair enough.
up. How did you find out? I don't want to know.
I spent like 10
I want
minutes
to.
looking at everything. You spent, 5 hours pulling
Oh,
yours
did
together.
Jeff say something? Yeah, no. Yes, but I'm altered.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I don't want to know whatever that is. I'll see it when it happens.
Here's the Probst quote on the Game Changer's name. Right? He said, and so we've had this abundance of players now, and we felt like we had enough where we could go old school with a guy like Jeff Varner and Sandra and Sari, and also go as recently as Millennials versus Gen X with somebody like Zeke and Michaela. It just felt right, and I loved the name. I thought the name was really good brand. It brings up questions. Some people are going to say, all these people didn't make game-changing moves. No, they didn't, but they were willing to make a move that might change the game.
There you go.
That's how tenuous this theme is, right? And if you've ever played Survivor, you know the difference.
It's season 34.
I'm just
we'll
letting
just
go
cut
of
them
it.
some slack,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. That's all you needed to know about the name. So let's try not to get
Who
too
knows
caught
what
up
I
on
would
it.
do if they said, you got to come up with a theme.
You're right.
I'd be like, well, I would probably do what I did in college. I would give them a different.
Second, third, and fourth chances.
major
How's
every
that for your theme? That's what we got.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
on the idols, there is supposedly a twist on the idols. Here's another quote.
Okay.
Given that it is Game Changers, we're going to change the game constantly. Maybe something you have to look forward to in the season.
Oh, I think that'll be
So
fun.
when it comes to idols, there will be no consistency Prope says. Usually there's a theme. You have to find them in a certain way or work a certain amount of effort to get it. Not this time, Prope says. One might drop in your lap. One might be at tribal. One might be at the bottom of the well. One might be at a challenge. It depends how often idols get played for how far down the list we'll get for what you'll get to see. Because if idols are held until the end, then we won't see anything and we'll use them next year. But if things go well and people start playing idols, which I think will happen, he says, it could be a really fun and crazy adventure to watch them and what they have to do to get them. So that could be awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to see how many of the idol twists get revealed and played out.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to it, which...
Looking forward to the season now?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I accepted the returnees, early on.
You're easier to do that than I am.
Yeah,
I'm not fond of it.
I'm just stuck on one person, and I'll get over that too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was over that until I started doing this, and he said that. If he just hadn't said that, but it brought all that back up again. Yeah. And I was like,
just need Marissa, that little clip with Marissa to balance it all out there.
Yeah, I guess.
At Redemption Island.
No, I just, I don't know. I think Monica probably coached him well, and that we may see some changes, but basically when it just gets down to it and the real people start, they get hungry enough and sleep deprived and tired enough, and though he's very energetic and he looks like he could be fun and funny to be around.
If you take those biases and those stereotypes and the preconceptions and figure out a way to use them to win the game, I think then you're like a superstar player. You could come out, again, with people
and
thinking
he could do that.
I'm not saying that he could. I'm saying that someone could use him in that context. Again, as they could leverage what he has to offer, the parameters that he functions in within the game. If you leverage him that way, then you become someone who's playing the game at a whole new level. So that's why it could be interesting to have these people in that I didn't necessarily, I initially discount, but I'm looking forward to seeing if someone can use these raw ingredients in a new, unique way as they play through the game.
Well, and I am going to give it my best shot to have an attitude adjustment.
Okay, but you said it's just for that one person.
I know, but I don't like feeling that way.
Okay.
So, I don't want to do it.
Anything else you have to say before we do the wrap-up?
No, I guess we should get to business.
Yeah. Okay, so the JSFL website, that's the fantasy league that we run here that we believe adds like an extra oomph to watching the season.
Certainly more intensity.
When you have something at stake. There's a small prize involved, and you can go read about that at the website. But Steve's got the JSFL website reset for season 34. It's now open. You can go in and make your picks. If you were playing in the JSFL at the end of the last season, then you're good to go. Your username, password, they're there, ready for you. If you're new to JSFL and you have until the deadline to register, and what you need to do before the season starts is pick 4 people you think are going to be safe, not voted out or not get taken out for a medical or something like that. And then who you think is going to be voted off first, which, there's a lot of guesswork. And then also, it's for a lot of bonus points, but it's really hard to do. There's a lot of luck involved. That's what it boils down to, just like Survivor. Pick who you think is going to win. Pick what we call the USB 24, the Ultimate Survivor bonus there.
24 points if you get it right.
The deadline is 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, March 8th. You have to get in the website. Eastern time, yeah. Get in and get your picks in. And if you have to set up an account, do that first, okay? And that's when the site locks down. So you don't get to play as part of the season if you don't get in by then. We have people who try to ask us to join in, but that's how we run it. That's the rules. Them's the rules. And then no one else gets to join in after that.
And please go to the website also and click on official rules, and that way you'll understand how the game works.
What the flow's like and what the bonuses are, things like that. Thank you again, Steve, for getting the site ready for us to all enjoy. We appreciate you taking care of all that as always and your dedication to the game. We want to thank Paul for the logos that he put together for JSFL, as well as the roster that we've been using here and that we tend to use every week while we're doing the podcast.
I don't know what we'd do anymore without that.
We'd have to make one, but it wouldn't be
We'd
it wouldn't be
depend on it.
as nice as Paul's for sure.
Yeah, we don't
So
have
we definitely love having
his
that through the
artistic
season.
flair for
Yep.
sure. Okay, every season I say this, and I'm going to say it again. There are people who start the game with no USB 24 because they forgot to click the submit button. Happens every time so far. Let's break this. Don't be one of those people. So after you choose your USB 24, make sure you click submit and then go to your inner picks page. And that person, your USB 24, should be in bold letters. Their name will show up in bold letters.
Yep.
And that's the way you can go check and make
verify.
sure that, because you can't do anything about it once the game starts until after the merge when we offer an opportunity for lesser points. So this is a one-time thing before the game starts.
Okay, so on the grill part 2, feedback is due Saturday, March 4th, no later than noon. Oh, at noon. Why'd you write it that way? At noon
I
Pacific.
put not later than noon Pacific time.
At noon Pacific
What's
time.
wrong with that?
I'm going to say that again. On the grill part 2, get your feedback in by Saturday, March 4th, noon Pacific time. This is your chance to tell us what you think about the cast, who you think is going to be first out, who's got a chance to win. You can do Final Four. You can talk about the people you don't like. Whatever it is, just get it in and get it in within 3 minutes.
Be nicer than me.
Then we have whether we need to read it for you or you want to record your own, or you can call the voicemail line, which is a real quick and easy way to do it. It's just the quality's not always the best, and sometimes the calls break up and we lose parts of things. There's a little bit of risk with doing it that way as opposed to recording it or writing it up, but it sure is quick and easy, and a lot of people take advantage of that. So you can call and leave the voicemail. We've got a toll-free number, 844-643-8737. There's a number we've had for years and years, 206-350-1547. That still works. You can record the audio on your own and attach it and send it to us in an email, or you can just type it up, and if you do that, either Joanne or I will read it into the show on your behalf. That email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. You can find all this at GetSFP. GetSFP.com. Aren't we clever? SFP Survivor Fans Podcast. Get Survivor Fans Podcast.com if I can say it.
I think you just better stick with SF.
Get SFP. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else you need to add?
No, just my apologies for delaying this broadcast.
That's okay. That's all right. You had some stuff you're dealing with. So
Yeah, no.
This is just the
I
first
couldn't,
day.
So this
Yeah, it's just the first day where we could make it happen. So we got it out.
But my apologies. We tried to get it out by the weekend.
We really looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. Look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
And we've already got some feedback that people sent in.
I need help making
need
my
some-
decisions.
Yeah,
I need
sure.
lots of help because
You'll
I
get a
just.
fresh look. Yeah, I'm keeping my mind open
This
too.
is a tough group to decide from, I think.
Yeah,
It's
it'll be
almost tougher
challenging.
when there's people I don't know. Then it seems easier somehow because, I don't know, these people you do know and they all want it, and I think it's going to be a tough choice.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, just looking forward to it.
Have a good one.
See ya.